Okay, doing some testing. I put the meter and the thermometer probes or senders, whatever, in the fridge because I wanted to get a temperature that is steady. And I left them in there for about 20 minutes. And well, the Therm is giving me different temperatures from the ambient and the meat probe, which is okay. It's just a few degrees, doesn't really matter. And the meter is at 45, so it's close enough. I'm gonna go with that. Now I'm gonna do a hot water test. The maximum temperature for the meter is 100 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit, so I'm just gonna go a little bit below that. Okay, so I boiled some water and I brought it to 212 and I put the thermometer in, or to boiling actually, and then I put the thermometer in there and it showed 214. And now I have the meter probe and thermometer probes in the same place. In the water it's cooled down a little bit because I don't want to overheat the meter. And as you can see, there's a difference of about 4 degrees. Oh well, now it dropped. Okay, so it's just a couple of degrees difference. And I would say that the thermometer is actually showing a couple of degrees higher than what it actually is. So it's dropping now, as you can see. Anyway, I'm quite happy with that. I can go with a few degrees here and there. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Time for a range test. So I'm putting the probe on my little pit and see. Well, it shows 72 internal. Not sure when it's going to show any ambient temperature. Maybe it doesn't do that when it's like cold. Anyway, I'm going to walk around the house and see. Let's go back and see. We are connected. And let's see if it works on the other side of the house via Bluetooth. Nope, it's not connected here. I'm going to go back. Okay, so I lost my Bluetooth signal, so what I'm doing now is I connected my iPad to the probe, which is out there in the pit. And my phone is connected to the iPad over Wi-Fi. And I'm gonna take this for a walk. Not really sure how I'm gonna see any changes, but at least I will know if I lose connection. See you in a bit. Okay, so my house is over there. And my phone has lost Wi-Fi. It's only on 4G and it switched to cloud mode, which I have enabled in settings, which means I could be anywhere. It's doing this over the 4G network. Pretty nifty. Hope it's gonna work. See, it's getting cold in there. Maybe I should cook something. Well, I just realized I could of course just turn Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off. This is still connected through the cloud then, and my iPad is connected over Bluetooth, and I have the probe right here. So let's see if we can get an ambient temperature. Wonder how warm my hand is. The 62 is residual from being outside. It's not that cold in here, but it feels like it. Anyway, I should get an ambient temperature reading soon. I'm not really sure when that happens, if it needs to be over a certain point. I saw this happen yesterday as well, even though I didn't really cook with it. It'll be really interesting to see. Let's see if I can get an ambient temperature up there. There we go. So we have an ambient temperature on the iPad, which is still connected through Bluetooth. Let's see what happens over here then. And there we go. Same. So it actually is communicating. It's pretty nifty. Okay, so a quick look into the settings. Settings of the app. We can choose a few things here. We can choose temperature, Celsius or Fahrenheit. We could choose which alarm should be sounded when something happens. We could set up notifications, how they should work, when you get a notification, if you want a notification before the cook ends. It would be interesting to cook something close to the stall. Anyway, we could add and remove meter devices. Let's look into that. Well, it just says that there is one meter probe. I only have one, and it's paired. And You can choose connecting through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Anyway, let's go back. We can enable or disable meter link. If this is disabled, you can only use Bluetooth. If we enable meter link, all devices connected to my Wi-Fi or to your Wi-Fi network will show the same settings as the device connected through Bluetooth. One of them must be connected, and only one connected through Bluetooth. You can also enable meter cloud, which is what I used when I walked around over 4G, and when you enable that, you get a choice of logging in and creating an account using Google or Facebook or something else. I don't remember, a third one. Anyway, we can choose to have the screen on during the whole cook, which is pretty good, but you probably need a charger for your device then, because cook could go on for hours and hours. And then we can have the question about showing the probe insertion instructions when we start a cook. And you can turn it on and off whichever way you like. Away, on to the next setting. Okay, so this app has quite a few settings. Of course, it's just monitoring stuff, but anyway, let's see what you can do. Okay, so this is the main screen. It shows the temperatures and we can set up a cook. And here we can choose between beef, pork, poultry, lamb or fish. On the beef one we have several to choose from. We can take any. Let's make some chuck. So it starts out with a temperature of 145, and there's also a warning. You shouldn't eat this or that at that temperature because you might die. These temperatures are more or less the same in the whole world, even though here we used Celsius, but it's for you guys. Okay, so we could just change this to well done, for example, and the probe will go to 165, and then we can start a cook. And it tells you how to insert the probe. You have to go beyond the notch in the probe, and then we can start. Estimated cooking time, stuff like that. It's going to give a lot of information, I would suppose. Since I'm not cooking, it's not going to show much, but there's a little symbol down here showing a graph of the cook. Both temperatures are shown, and well, I think that's pretty good. Anyway, let's see if we can stop this cook. Yeah, we could do that there. So there's a little hand here. That means stop in all languages. We want to end it? Yes, we do. And then, let's see, we have a little alarm bell here. So what we can do is we can set values for when we should get an indication that something is past a certain level. Ambient temperature falls below, rises above, things like that. And it's just a temperature gauge. If it goes below 35, let me know. Stuff like that. It could also say, I want an alarm after 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. I also want to know about 1 hour before the cook ends, according to the temperature readings. We could also do a custom cook, where we could just say we want this cook to be called something special and we want to cook it to a certain temperature, whichever we want. Anyway, that's the short review of the settings and my tries so far. Next video might be a cook with it.